This podcast series is brought to you by World of Coffee Dubai and DXB Live. Expand your specialty coffee brand into the fastest growing specialty coffee market in the world by becoming an exhibitor at the next World of Coffee Dubai in 2024. I will be there, so head to worldofcoffeedubai.com and join the mailing list to get notified when booth registrations become available. Check the show notes for further details. Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Map It Forward, friends. I'm your host, Lee Safar, and today I am joined by Lauro Fioretti again. I'm saying again, but you don't know again because you haven't seen the episode with Lauro because we recorded an amazing conversation at World of Coffee Dubai and the audio files corrupted. And so Lauro has done me a big favor and at no notice has agreed to come and have the conversation with me again. And it had to happen because the conversation was so good. We spoke about a lot of really interesting things. Lauro, it was your first time on the podcast, but now this is your first time on the podcast. So welcome, my friend.
Thank you very much, Lee. It's a pleasure to be with you here in Map It Forward.
We, At World of Coffee Dubai, obviously we're not there now. We have had a few weeks from World of Coffee, and this episode will come out in a few hours after recording this. So everyone will get to see this fresh off the press. But the added benefit we get to do is to bring some perspective post World of Coffee Dubai 2023. So we might incorporate a little bit of that into the conversation. Now, Laura, before we dive into the question we explored our World of Coffee, could you tell people, I mean, everybody knows who you are, but for the few people who don't know who you are, would you mind telling them who you are?
Oh, of course, yes, sure. So, Lauro, my name is Lauro Fioretti, and my background is engineering. So, I burn like an electronic engineer, and then I joined the Simonelli Group company almost 30 years ago. So, I've been in charge for the after-sales service department for almost 20 years. And, I was in charge to organize our network of distributors and be sure that they were able, to install and maintain properly our equipment. And then from that side, I really love the coffee and, everything is around the coffee. So I try to dive inside, the coffee chains from the green coffee up to the cup. And then I focus more on education in the company, in coffee culture. And now I'm managing, our campus. In the factory, we have a beautiful campus of 1,000 square meters. We just opened last month. And plus we have the platform, our platform, the Coffee Knowledge Hub, in which, we run courses, event, and chat, podcast, and so on. So that's my job now.
Nice. So at World of Coffee, we were exploring the question, what is the future of specialty coffee in the Middle East? Given that you are really focused on education and you're focused on expanding, the way I like to think about what you do, Lauro, with Knowledge Hub is you're expanding the consciousness of the coffee community, specifically around coffee.
Yes, that's our job.
What do you think is going to be the role of that in the Middle East in the future?
I believe that there will be a major role because, I've been in Middle East since several years, and I see that the coffee culture is growing so fast. I mean, Middle East has been always, a culture of coffee born there. We know that coffee is coming, from there. So the origins of the coffee is there. And you feel it in the culture of the people, it's like us, like Italians, we are obsessed with coffee. Coffee is part of our culture. So in the morning you wake up and first thing you think is a cup of coffee. Same thing is happening, is the feeling I had in Middle East is the same, it's a part that is inside their nature. And of course, but the way Middle East is exploding in terms of a culture, because you can see now that it's becoming very cosmopolitan. You go in the city and you see people from every country, and you see the lifestyle is completely changing. So they are embracing all new culture, all new trends, and including of course the coffee trends. So I think it's the perfect match, as we can say, because there is already culture of coffee there. We don't need to create the coffee
It's
needs.
the birthplace of it, right?
Yes, it's the birthplace. And now they are embracing all the new culture, all the new trends. So they are opening to the world, and so they are embracing all the new trend about coffee. Or everything is happening in specialty coffee, or the new brewing methods are all there. So I believe there is a need, a very strong need of education there, of knowledge, and so it's the perfect place, for the Coffee Knowledge Hub to be.
Do you think that, like right now, what I see is happening is that the Middle East is taking trends from the West and from a lot of what's going on in Asia is being translated into the Middle East as well. And right now they're kind of inhaling all of that knowledge in ways that we didn't in the West. I remember when Mauricio came on the podcast during World of Coffee, he was saying to us that he was helping explore this idea that consumers were starting at CM coffees and then they were exploring Geshes. And they were kind of going the back way, like they were going backwards in the way that we explored coffee and the different kind of processing methods that came out. And consumers in the Middle East are starting with CM and infused coffees and Panama Geshes and Geshes from all over the world and naturals and wash, all of these at the same time, which means that the trajectory of where they might take all of that could go in a very different direction than we took it over the 30 years it took for us to explore all these different processing methods. And I wonder if the same thing isn't going to happen with knowledge. I wonder if we give, as we bring all these brewing methods and these techniques and all this technical information as coffee science is starting to become a thing, I wonder if this region of the world that is kind of almost the last to come on board with specialty coffee, I wonder if they then start setting the trend of where all this is going to go. Because what we saw in Dubai was wildly impressive.
I agree, Lee. I totally agree. It's wildly impressive the way they are growing because, as you say, they are the last that are embracing the new trends, but they are embracing and capturing, they are absorbing this new information in a very, very, very fast way. I was impressed, on the evolution they've done in the last 5-6 years. When I was traveling there were almost no specialty coffee shops there, and now it's full of specialty coffee shops. They have, as you say, the most expensive geishas you can find in the world market. The Eugenoides and so on. So they are really deep inside, and so why not? I believe that they definitely could be. They could be, the next trend generation people, because considering that this Middle East is really a big melting pot in which you have these all these countries that are merging together and they are embracing each other. I believe that this can build something new and something that could guide the future in the next in the next generations. We can see now in the Middle East a lot of investment, for example, now with the building of new city like the NEOM project. They are amazing project that
The line.
yeah, the lines and all the things are amazing. So I mean, why not? That could happen, and it's good that there are that everyone is evolving and everyone is developing new trends and is creating new direction. It's the good for me. What is beautiful in coffee is that it's never stop. Is a process that. It's never ending because it's a very complex product that is evolving, and it's so complex, all the chains from the green beans to the processing, as you say, to the extraction method, to the brewing, to the consumer. Our habits, the consumer habits are changing, and according to the consumer habits, of course, all the chains need to adapt to what are the needs of the consumers. If we see the trend in coffee, the way we drink coffee 10 years ago, the way we drink coffee nowadays is completely different. So it's part of the society, how the society is evolving. Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting to see how the Middle East starts determining the trends that are going to start getting filtered outside of the Middle East. Because there's this weird, still, we haven't had the adoption of, I think, the West in the coffee industry feeling like, and I hope this changes for the next World of Coffee. You don't see many Americans or Australians heading to World of Coffee. And I hope that over the next couple of years, they start to realize like this is the show to go to, because World of Coffee Dubai was amazing.
Yes, I agree. World of Coffee Dubai has been an amazing exhibition. It was very, as you say, it's very vibrant with a lot of people going there, a lot of movement, a lot of talks, a lot of discussions, a lot of cappings, a lot of different, and really, I think it's a place in which you can see, as you say, the new trends. So I believe that, yeah, people should go back. It's a kind, my feeling is that, all the countries there are waves. No, if you see Europe, for example, north of Europe has been a pioneer in a specialty coffee industry. So when the SCAE started in Europe in Norway in it was 1995, and they has been pioneering on these trends. But then now, then they came a little bit settled, so you don't see anymore, a strong participation of the people on the events. But they then, I think it's kind of trends. So people are picking up, and then are
It's
going.
cyclical, right?
It's cyclical, exactly. It's cyclical, like waves. Yes, it's cyclical, like waves. Italy, for example, as a country that has been very traditional with the Italian espresso. So it took a long time. We are considering like the last before Middle East that embraced the specialty coffee.
Inshallah.
Yeah, because inshallah, yes. But there is a reason behind it, because it's been a tradition for a long time, and people like tradition, so they embrace this tradition. So it took a longer time than places in which you have no tradition, you have no culture about coffee, so zero culture. You can start immediately with so people immediately embrace the new trend. It doesn't make any sense that they don't start with the back. For us, it was kind of, okay, we already have our tradition, so move from tradition to new trends takes, of course, more time for the people, because there is a resistance, a natural resistance. But if you come now in Italy, you see a lot of coffee shops, a lot of new roasteries.
Wow.
I can have yeah, even not in the big city, not only in the main city like Milan or Rome, where you expect, of course, the new trend to start.
Yeah.
But even in the middle-sized city, even in small city where we live, I can now, I have a specialty coffee roasteries close to my house. I have a specialty coffee shops close to my house. Am I not living in a big city? So the trend is really spreading out. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. What do you see is going to be the big thing that's going to shift in coffee in the Middle East over the next, let's say, 10 years?
That's a very good. That's a very good question. It's hard to. What I can tell you is some guidelines, some direction. I don't know which one will be the most successful. I don't know, but the direction I see. First of all, what I see in this moment, I see that majority. There are big chains like fast food chains where the majority of the people goes. I was impressed to see these huge, immense, big fast food chains full of people going there for food till 1, 2 a.m., in the night, and every single day, not only on the weekend, but every single day. So in this moment, I see this massive trend of people going to these kind of large chains. And I see on the other side, there are these new trends of specialty coffee shops, and especially roaster, that are booming up, but they are small. They are at the moment the size is very small, so they are kind of niche. I believe that in the next 10 years, my feeling is that people will start to select more the places. So I believe that what's happened in Europe, in the last years will come also there. So people were, I remember I was also a fan of fast food because, everyone, because it was new, because it was fast, because it was trendy, because you want to try the new food and stuff like this. And everyone was going there. Now, people are starting to go back to the slow food because we want to enjoy, we want to have more time because we are running too fast. So it's exactly the opposite trend. So we don't want to go to a fast food. So if I have to go to a fast food, I prefer to stay home and just have my food. If I go to a restaurant, I want to have a slow food. I want to enjoy the food. I want to have an experience. I want to take my time. So I believe that I hope that in the next 10 years, Middle East will go towards this direction. So we'll embrace quality, time, and experience.
What a beautiful place to end the conversation. What a beautiful... Before we do go, though, I want people to know about Knowledge Hub because I'm a big fan, I got to say. So can you quickly tell people where they can find Knowledge Hub just so that people can go and explore it and take a look at what's happening?
Sure. So it's super easy. Just, you have just to type www.coffeeknowledgehub.com. And you can enter into the platform, so you can enter into the website. It's free. There are nothing to do. Just you can surf inside the Coffee Knowledge Hub and see in this digital platform what are the different proposals of knowledge and education that we offer to the people. There are the most easy way probably to surf and navigate and approach the Coffee Knowledge Hub is just to embrace and see some of the lectures that are free to read and to listen. And these lectures are coming from our collaboration with the Specialty Coffee Association. So we publish regularly on the Coffee Knowledge Hub all these lectures that are covering practically all the coffee chains, from green beans up to the cup, up to the roasting and so on. So you can go from a business, you can go on the consumer side and so on. So they are covering all different aspects, and they are really very easy to participate, and they are free. You just have to enroll yourself, sign in without any charge, and they are completely free. Then you can discover something. You can discover some courses that are more advanced. So they need, of course, in this case, an enrollment. They need also subscription, and they are more focused on different subjects. So you can have, for example, courses with Veronica Belchior or with Fabiana from Brazil, talking about the new what is acidity in coffee, or for example what is sensory analysis in coffee, or the consumer behavior, or we have courses on the business of coffee with Nick Tolley. We have courses that cover specific topics in a very, very scientific and deep way. Or you can just enjoy, for example, coffee articles that we publish regularly there, and can be, just general articles, so it can be very scientific articles on, milk or coffee beverage. So I think it's a good way. If you like coffee, if you like, everything is inside, is around the coffee, it's a good platform to see.
Yeah. And I like that you guys are establishing it as a centralized coffee knowledge hub that is just focused on knowledge. It's not focused on pushing a different agenda. That's my perspective, like my perception of it anyway. You're not looking to associate it with any brands. You're not looking to, it's not about Simonelli Group. It's about knowledge. And that for me is important.
It's very important. The main focus of the company was exactly to create a platform that is agnostic. So you will not see any brand there. Okay. So it's not branded Simonelli Group or Vittorio Urbino or Nuova Simonelli, but all the people that participate there, they're just there to show and to talk about knowledge. Yes, that is the main goal of the platform.
Perfect. Lauro, thank you again for saving my bacon so that we had this conversation. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you very soon, either through a meeting or somewhere around the world. We will catch up again soon, inshallah.
For sure, inshallah, Lee, and thanks again.
You're welcome. Peace, love, and peanut butter, everybody. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks, friends. If you enjoyed this video, here's what you should check out next. Consider supporting Map It Forward on Patreon, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell before you leave.